It's the month we've been waiting for. Well, at least I've been waiting for. This is moving month and a magic month. So this month is going to be a little complicated. This is one of the reasons why I am so appreciative that I was introduced to the concept of paycheck budgeting and putting everything on a calendar before I budget. So let's get right into it. Hi, I'm Bo. I am, along with my partner Wynn, my fiance, we are trying to get some sort of financial stability and pay off $68,000 worth of debt for him, me, and his 3 kids. Let's get into the month, shall we? We're just putting everything on the calendar that we are supposed to be paying for, or at least getting as close as we can. For us, because we budget by paycheck, the months never quite look like the calendar month. So our month of May starts April 18th because for us, the first paycheck of the month always includes the first because that's when the big bills come out. And it just so happens that the first is the last day of the pay period that starts on the 18th of April. So that's how our first paycheck of May is going to go. So let's get right into it. Okay, so every Friday there is the possibility of getting, let's start with pay. So Fridays we have his pay, and this is the day he actually gets paid. And her pay, which is my pay, this is not the day I get paid. I actually get paid on the Thursday of the week that he doesn't get paid. So I get paid the week before him, or you could look at it as the week after him, however you want to look at it. But I get paid on Thursdays. But because we're budgeting together, we are bringing it into the budget on the same day. So his pay, her pay for that. His pay, her pay for the second paycheck on the second. And then on the 16th, his pay, her pay. So as I said, this is a magic month, which means there are 3 paychecks within this month for us. So some people do it by having 3 paychecks within the calendar month. I just do it as 3 paychecks with only one of them including the first. The first paycheck includes the first. But as you can see, that last pay period of the 16th to the 29th, the first isn't there. So that's not the first paycheck of the next month yet. So that is our magic 3rd paycheck. Which is wildly convenient because, again, we're moving. So having 3 paychecks within that time period works quite well for us. Okay, so there's that. And then now that we have our pay, we can do savings account interest. So my interest, or her interest, is on the 23rd. And then his savings account interest, or his INT, his interest, is on the 3rd of the month. And that means, again, I get my interest right here. So her interest on the 23rd again. Okay. And then we have kid bills. So the kids have therapy every week, roughly. Sometimes it skips a week. Sometimes they have 2 sessions in 1 week. It just depends on when their mom schedules it. So he does have to pay a portion of that, but it is not him taking them to therapy because they go during the school day, and he is a substitute teacher, so he doesn't have paid time off, so he can't take them during the day, and so the mom does it. Okay, so we call that kid copay, and that's every Friday. Sometimes they charge it on Friday, sometimes on Saturday, but kid copay. good grief. I swear I can write, y'all. And then on the 9th, kid copay. Kid copay. And kid copay. Okay, so there's that. And then for the other kid bill, that's the kids' insurance. That is on the 1st along with rent. So we're gonna go with rent first and then kid insurance. And that is Wynn's portion of the kids' insurance premium. And then what else is next? On the 5th is internet, which is interesting. So this, I don't know how this is going to go because, as I said, we're moving. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how this transition is going to go. We were actually thinking about switching back to Xfinity from AT&T because AT&T internet is really spotty and we want to have a home security system. So most home security systems that we have come across require a stable internet connection. And AT&T, at least in our experience so far, does not have that. So we might be switching back to Xfinity. We'll see how that goes. But as of now, the internet bill is due on the 5th. And of course, that is when we're selling, well, not when we're selling, when we're closing on the house that we're buying. So stuff might change. We'll see. We'll see. We are in the chaos mode here, as usual. Okay, so internet is on the 5th. S&M collections is on the 7th. Not that they reliably charge that day, but that's what we're gonna budget it as, and if it comes out later, so be it. And then on the 20th is the heat bill, which does not reliably charge on the 20th. So we'll see how that goes. And then also on the 20th is student loans. And then on the 25th, well, actually, no, I take that back. Because we do have the 20th twice within this month, we need to also put, I wish I had a ruler. Hold on. Okay, so don't judge me. We are going to see how this goes. We are going to cut these days roughly in half. That's Thursday, okay. Okay. So I know this is going to make tracking on these days really iffy, and I apologize in advance, but this is just how this is going to go. It's going to be a messy month anyway. Where was I? So on the 20th is heating. And student loan. I'm just going to write it kind of smaller and cramp it a little bit just so that I can actually write above it. And then on the 25th, for both of these, is the electric bill. Possibly. So sometimes it's not on this date, but this is when we budget for it because it's usually not before the 25th. And again, on the 25th, we have electric. Okay. And then that is it for his bills. And then for me, we have on the 1st, is YouTube. Oh, goodness, I bumped the light. So this is YouTube Premium Family, and Netflix. And we already decided if Netflix goes up again, we're going to switch to Crunchyroll. Because Crunchyroll is less expensive and we like a lot of things that are on there. So there's that. And then my car wash subscription is due on the 13th. And fabulous. Oh, I went out of order. Fabulous is due on the 2nd. So there is also on the 5th, we have closing day. So this is the day we officially take ownership of the house that we're buying. And it is also the youngest, out of focus. Okay. It's also one of the kids' birthdays. So it's a very eventful day. And then on the 18th is when we will most likely do the bulk of our move. So that'll be the day that we move the furniture, which is the part that requires movers for us. So, it might not actually be that date, but more than likely it will. Let's see. Okay, so yes, 18th is the most likely day that we'll actually move the big stuff, the furniture and everything. And then on the 20th, again, is when my car insurance is due. It's actually when all my insurance is due. And we shall see how that goes, because I don't really want to. I'll explain it when I get more into house expenses later, because I am going to have another video on house expenses. But that is it as far as I can think about what's due. I don't have any subscriptions that are due during this time period, so I think we should be pretty good. So now it is time to start highlighting. So we're going to start with inflow. So all our inflow is in green. We just differentiate whose account it belongs to by putting hers or his in front. So her pay, his pay, her pay, his pay, her pay, boop, his pay. And then my interest, oh goodness gracious, her interest, his interest, doot, and her interest. Okay, so that's all the green. And then we go to the blue, which is things that come from Wynn's checking account. So all the kids' copay, so kid copay, student loan and heating, that comes from him too. And I don't know how exactly the changeover in utilities is going to work, but I can't imagine that we're paying utilities during the first month that we're in the house. So I think there's going to be a delay on that. Well, no, there definitely should be a delay on that because it's based on actual usage. But just keep in mind, next month, there's going to be double utilities and we might be fuzzy on due dates because we're not out of this apartment until May 31st, but we're moving into the new house on May 5th. So there's going to be like utility overlap next month, but we're not worrying about that right now. Right now, we're just worrying about what is going on with this place. So we have electric, kid copay, that comes out of his account, kid insurance, rent, kid copay, and then internet, S&M, kid copay, heating and student loan, kid copay, electric. Okay, so that should be everything out of his account. Well, out of his checking account. And then we have my checking account, which is going to be in pink. And we have Netflix, YouTube, Fabulous, and Car Wash. And then yellow is what's going to be paid for out of savings. So, the closing for the house, kid's birthday, the move, and not kids insurance, and my insurance. So that is, that's my car insurance and valuable personal property insurance. So I think, yeah, that's it. That's it for what our month looks like. The end of the month is going to be a little wild because between the 5th and the 29th really is when we're essentially going to be moving. We're not physically going to be living in the new place until starting on the 18th. So from here on, we're going to be like unpacking and cleaning up the apartment. So it's going to be it's going to be a little crazy. You know, there's going to be like food in both places. There's going to be cleaning supplies in both places. Like it's going to be kind of messy for these few weeks, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. If you have any different ideas on what a magic month might look like when you have this kind of situation, please let a girl know, because y'all, I'm winging it. Not winging it, but sometimes I don't know what would be best to include on the calendar, because some things they're so flexible where they could happen like any day, where I'm not 100% sure where to put them like on the calendar, or if I should put them on the calendar, because like some of these things aren't bills. They're just things that I know I'm going to pay for, or Win is going to pay for, like somewhere in that vicinity. Like on the 5th, the kid's birthday, this spending could be like any of these days beforehand, because like the cake and stuff and presents could possibly be bought ahead of time, but I kind of want to remember that this is the actual day. So, you know, it's flexible, but let me know what you would do differently, if you would do something differently. And never forget that you deserve financial stability, and I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.